I traveled through a desert that seemed barren at first. But I found amazing sights there.
여기는 무슨 동굴이 아니라 지하 세계로 들어가는 입구 같아 보여요.
I spent a romantic night that could not be met anywhere else, and I met a natural work of art created by time and wind. And today, I'm headed towards Egypt's Red Sea, where the underwater scenery mesmerized divers across the world and people live without greed, next to the abundant sea. I wonder what new encounters and stories await me. The Red Sea is a narrow and long sea between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. It is a dream spot for divers across the world. Are you ready to travel the Sea of Life in a Quseer? This is the Red Sea. It is so named because a long time ago, people saw the sea from above the mountain and the water looked red because of its coral reefs. It shows how clear the water is, and that is why divers from across the world gather here. The seaside of Egyptian cities along the Red Sea is full of hotels and resorts catering to these tourists. However, traveling just beyond these cities, one can meet the locals living in fishing villages. Quseer is a port city on the Red Sea. It is one of the oldest port cities. This city boasts a history of 5,000 years. It was a major center for maritime trade starting from ancient Egyptian times, and a port city where Muslims on their way to the Holy Land stopped by during the Middle Ages. Here, most of the locals still make a living from fishing.
홍해다.
I went out to sea to meet a fisherman.
야, 파란 홍해라. 아, 진짜 맑다. 물이 그냥 투명하죠?
I can see everything underwater.
안녕.
Luckily, I met a father and son on their way to
바다를
fish.
들어가 봐야지. 고맙습니다. 으쌰. 반갑습니다. 오, 배도 아늑하니 이쁘다.
The father and son work together to catch fish. The fresh wind of the Red Sea seems to resemble the color of the water. The boat continues out to sea in hopes of landing a big catch. We were well on our way when I saw something amazing. A man was standing on water. Was it a miracle of the Red Sea? Oh, he is standing on top of the coral reef.
그 한참 바다로 나간다고 생각했거든요. 그런데 바다 한가운데서 서서 고기 잡는 분을 봤네요. 아, 요만큼은 낮은 데인가 봐요. 깊다가 이렇게 위로 올라서 바다 색깔도 다르고. 아, 뜻밖의 모습을 봤어요.
The boat made its way further out to sea. Finally, it came time to cast out the first pieces of bait. We are going to fish here. In case you're wondering, we haven't caught anything. This is just bait. We spread the bait out to gather the fish around the boat.
ده لما بيجي السمك عليه واخد بقى ارميه كده السمك الكبير يجي
이걸로
Here, they use the traditional fishing method of line fishing.
مش عايز تجلب انت؟ ليه؟
The line may look flimsy, but can actually catch up to 65 kilograms. I try line fishing for the first time. I am looking forward to catching a big fish. The father caught his first fish in 5 minutes.
쥐도새도 모르게 스르륵 다 잡았네.
He pulled in the line right away once more. The fish are all different. What is this one called?
اغلى سمك في البحر الاحمر ناجل الناجل ناجل اغلى سمك في البحر الاحمر ده غالي واحسن سمك انضف سمك ده يعني
최고급을 낚았네 오늘.
The son begins fishing at the head of the boat too. He started helping his father at 9. Let's see his skills. Suddenly, something loud could be heard from the sea. The men were actually catching fish.
اقول لك دول دلوقتي ماشيين بيه السمك قدامهم بالنظارات شايفينه تمام يجي لغايه لما يوديه الحته اللي احنا انت ركبت فيها عند السقاله تعرف السقاله اللي احنا ركبنا فيها السقاله اللي ركبت فيها اللي معايا تو يجي هناك يجي يحوطوا بالغزل معاه غزل يجرفوا جرف بالغزل.
The son starts to bring the fish in. His catch looks quite big.
너 먹으라는 게 아니야 지금.
Not having caught anything, I vent my frustrations on the seagull. The son is as good as the father. It is a fishing contest between father and son.
아 잡았대.
Right then, something got caught on the father's line.
오 천천히 진짜 큰 거. 와. 야 이건 이름이 뭐예요? 이거는 아이고.
ده العنبر.
It is a powerful fish.
여기 터가 좋은가 봐요. 저랑 자리는 바꿨는데 던지기는 일로 계속 던지네. 반칙인데.
لان دي قريبه بيكون للشعب يعني
저쪽에
قريبه للشعب
연하네.
واخد بالك الشعب هو الشعب ده شعب كله شعب.
자. 어휴, 아버지보다 더 잘 잡네. 오, 잡은 거야? 도움처럼 생겼죠? 아이고, 도미처럼 생겼다.
بيسلم عليك يا عم غفار بيسلم عليك.
At some point after midday, we met a fisherman returning from sea. In the deep waters, you can catch sea bass, tuna, mackerel, and around 1,000 other types of fish. For this reason, the Red Sea could well be called the golden fishing ground. We got the fish we needed. Shall we go back home? The bucket fell into the water.
에헤이.
The son jumps in without hesitation. He catches the fish bucket and swims back at leisure. A youth who has lived with the sea for 17 years is a true man of the sea.
아버지가 물통 딱 떨어뜨리니까 아무 뭐 없이 그냥 자연스럽게 착 벗더니 잽싸게 쏙 들어가서 우리 같으면 오 어떻게 막 이럴 텐데 에? 나보고 하라고요? 배고파서 안 돼. 배고파서 안 돼. 근데 진짜 여기서 하면 기분 좋을 것 같아요.
Although I failed to catch even one fish, I had a great time on the Red Sea thanks to this kind of father and son. When lunchtime came, the kind fisherman invited me to his home. I felt warm hospitality radiate out from the old alleyways. Befitting a fisherman's house, he has various nets and fishing tools. He is preparing a meal at the side of the house for me. There is actually a kitchen inside the house. Although this is a Muslim home that welcomes guests, it is not allowed for me to enter the women's quarters.
방금 잡았으니까 맛있겠죠. 아주 맛있을 것 같아요. 사실은 저희가 지금 밖에 간이 조리대를 만들어서 여기서 요리하고 있거든요. 뭐 안에 들어가서 마음은 그러고 싶지만 여기 풍습에 또 여인들이 지금 안에 많이 기거를 해서 외관 남정네가 쑥 들어가기가. 자, 이거 운동실이구나.
Once inside the house, I can see the dining room where the male guests are welcomed.
샐러드가 왔네요. 슈크란.
An abundant meal was prepared with the fish caught today. The men gathered in the dining room for the meal, and I was given the fish first.
살이 그냥 구성하네. 오늘 챔피언.
And I gave fish to the son, who caught the most fish today.
이게 그 홍해에서 가장 비싸다는 물고기죠. 낙일. 맛도 비싼지 한번 볼까요?
The fish lives up to its reputation.
챔피언.
It tastes even better thanks to the warm hospitality offered by the locals.
Very good.
The next day, I unexpectedly met someone. It was the old man who had been catching fish by himself the day before. He is on his way to fish. I carefully asked him if I could join in, and he didn't hesitate to agree. When he took his outer clothes off, he looked exactly as he had while he was fishing yesterday. He said that he usually catches fish in the morning when the tide is weak. As we made our way out to sea, the wind became stronger. The fishermen did not waver once, but continued to walk on. The Red Sea shone with different colors, as if it were layered. The fisherman stood at the boundary of the coral reef and cast his fishing line. But the waves were strong, and I could hardly keep my balance. The fisherman kept on looking back at me with a concerned expression on his face. In the end, we decided to give up fishing for the day. This was because I had actually hurt myself on a sharp coral reef while struggling against the waves. And the fisherman had also hurt himself trying to help me.
I have medicine. Yeah. So some aid first aid. 그냥 할아버지한테 가신 데까지 제가 쫓아갈게 하고 갔는데 그냥 보기엔 파란 바다잖아요. 근데 저기는 산호 구멍이 너무 많아. 맨발로 지금 가는 거 억지로 나 때문에 끝까지 갔는데 나 끌고 가다가 다 긁혀가지고.
I felt so sorry that my footsteps fell slow and heavy. We found a spot nearby to treat the wound.
아이고야. 아이 죄송해서 어떡하나.
He has a deep cut around his ankle.
아이고 아파라, 아이고 아파라. 잠깐만. 아이고 찢어. 아이고 아파라. 가만.
يظهرها معلش يظهرها يا
아이고 어떡해.
I didn't know what to do because I felt so sorry.
Thank you.
But the fisherman comforted me, saying that it was okay. Next was my turn.
무지 따가울 것 같은데. 아하.
At last, we finished our treatment.
لا ما نزلتش في الهواء لما اكون زي كده يعني. الهواء زي كده اروح بالشبك في الساعه على الشط كده بس. بالشبك وانشر.
ما شاء الله.
اجيب لي 2 كيلو 3 كيلو فضل بقى. الحمد لله. انا يعني بس رزقي كله عليه هو على البحر. اجيب سمك بيع بيدي فلوس وناكل. باي باي.
ايوه.
شكرا. شاو شاو شاو.
The fisherman smiled warmly until we parted.
شاو 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 شاو.
His smile resembled the sea here.
السلام حبيبي. السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام. باي. شاو.
He said that he started fishing when he was 10. He lived a contented life without greed, satisfied with what the sea had to offer him every day. The parade of fishermen is endless on this part of the sea. They catch fish where the water is low. When they see fish in the water, they quietly approach them and cast their nets. The net is actually huge. And then the fishermen herd the fish into the net by hitting the water with sticks. They can do this because the water is clear and they can see the fish. The shining sea seems to call me. Should I give it a try and use my childhood fishing skills? Will I be able to catch anything? There is a fish here. It is the first fish I've caught today. There are other fish caught in the net as well. The one with the long mouth is called the cornet fish. It is a tropical fish. The fishermen say that they catch around 10 kilograms of fish per day, but today they have an extra special visitor. This fish is known as the Picasso triggerfish because of its fancy color. The fish caught here are unique and fancy. It is like a sea aquarium. This is the sail fin tang that spreads its fins like a fan when surprised.
Thank you, shukran.
These are people to whom the sea means everything. They depend on the abundance of the sea every day.
항상 이런 모습을 볼 때마다 존경스러워요. 자연에 이렇게 직접 몸을 부닥치면서 일하시는 분들 보면 존경스럽고 쉬워 보이지만 더 어려운 일인 걸 또 몸소 체험하면서 느끼고.
The Red Sea that boasts transparent waters and various kinds of fish is a sea dreamt of by many divers as well. In particular, divers gather here to see the underwater scenery. In particular, you can see the sea turtle and dugong, also known as the mermaid of the sea. They are very popular with tourists. I came all the way here, so I shouldn't leave without scuba diving.
지금 여기가 이 지역에서 유일하게 산호가 별로 없이 거북이들이 먹는 수초가 쫙 깔린 데래요. 그래서 거북이들이 밥을 먹는 장소라 그러더라고요. 저기 보시면 아시겠지만 외국에 이런 다른 다이빙 하는 사람들 많이 오는 되게 유명한 곳이래요. 그래서 한번 두 눈으로 거북이를 한번 확인해볼까 싶어서 왔습니다.
I feel a little concerned because I haven't done much scuba diving before. But my concerns were soon forgotten in my impatience to see the sea. Shall we go into the sea? I can really see a sea turtle there. The sea turtle is enjoying its grass. It has a small shark stuck to its belly and back, but the sea turtle does not seem to mind them. I carefully approached the sea turtle as instructed by my guide. Swimming with the sea turtle felt like being in a fairy tale. The sea turtle, which lives in the quiet, low waters with lots of grass, can live for between 85 and 100 years. Unfortunately, due to their excellent meat and the flavor of their eggs, they were hunted indiscriminately and are now endangered. One of the sea turtles went up to the surface of the water. I wondered what it was doing, but it was going for a breath of air. The sharks are left behind like motherless children. They might look like leeches, but it's actually a symbiotic relationship. While I was watching the sharks, something else appeared. This is a dugong, or mermaid of the sea. I am awed to see this rare animal with my own eyes.
아니 어떻게 그런 좋은 세상을 혼자만 보고 살아요. 내 세상에 이만한 거북이 처음 봤어. 진짜 이만하죠? 예. 거짓말 좀 더 했나? 한 이만은 해요.
I felt like I've been to another world and back. I am taking the beauty and abundance of the Red Sea away with me in my heart.
날강변에 있는 조그마한 시골 마을인데 뜨겁다.
Neden bu dünyada yüzümüz